on it to share, like, make your own videos, do whatever you can to get this information out, because the quieter we are, the longer we have to endure this kind of propaganda, this kind of corruption. So there's a thing I wrote on my Facebook page, and I'm just going to read it, and it basically gives a brief synopsis of all the things I've been talking about lately. So here we go. This is what I wrote. There's two different parts I'm going to put. Okay. Here is the legal definition of the term slave, according to the 13th Amendment of our Constitution. Basically, in a nutshell, it's involuntary servitude. Basically, that means you cannot just grab somebody against their will and force them to do work. The only exception is prisoners, because they are actually considered legal slaves, and they're allowed to do this to prisoners. So the way they trick you is to getting you to volunteer servitude, and they do that by getting you to do it without realizing it. When you get a driver's license, register to vote, pay your taxes, etc., you go from a free sovereign human with rights to a United States citizen, which basically is an employee of a corporation that is known as the United States. So there's a big difference between the two. The United States and the United States of America are two different things. The first is nothing more than a piece of paper, a corporation that is filed under the jurisdiction of Washington, D.C., which is a foreign country, not part of America, just like the Vatican is not part of Italy and is its own country. And the second is the actual country, the landmass where we walk and drive every day. So they are two different things, even though they look the same. That's meant to deceive you. Okay. When you become a legal citizen, you have unknowingly become a traitor to America, joined a foreign-owned corporation known as the United States, and you are now subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. That's detailed in the 14th Amendment and the legal definition of citizen. If you've ever heard the phrase, ignorance of the law is no excuse, it applies here. So now that you have volunteered your servitude by consenting to become a United States citizen, you are now a legal slave by definition, and go from a free human being with rights to, again, a legal slave, and otherwise known as U.S. citizen, that now has privileges. Don't believe this? It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe in air to breathe it. All you have to do is research the Act of 1871. I have plenty of videos that I have that mention this, and find out the original Constitution. It went from the Constitution for the United States of America, which basically meant the document was for the free people of America, and they changed it to the Constitution of the United States, which that basically means that the people are subject to the jurisdiction of the corporation known as the United States. So it went from a document that was written for the people to a document where the people are subject to the document. And they just change a couple of words and lettering. So one thing I would recommend is buy yourself a Black's Law Dictionary, 4th or 5th edition. The older ones are the better ones. And learn what I say about legal definitions by also studying the Act of 1871. Unless, of course, you like how this corrupt system is working. All right, and this is important, to all the military and police who swore an oath to protect and serve the Constitution. You have sworn an oath to a fake Constitution created in 1871 and are swearing to protect a corporation called the United States and not the country called America. So keep that in mind. And the other part I want to talk about is about your votes. And it basically has to do with the fact that you're a corporation and why your votes don't count. Here's why your votes don't matter. People keep complaining that all we need to do to fix things is to vote. Once you know how the system really works, you find that voting is not what you think it is. Since we are part of a corporation known as the United States, and you could tell that if you have a driver's license, if you've ever registered to vote, if you've ever paid taxes, you are a U.S. citizen. Um, you are not part of the United States of America. You go from a free sovereign people to citizens. This means that you become a legal slave according to the legal definitions of the word slavery, again, involuntary servitude. Since you volunteer to get a driver's license, register to vote, pay taxes, you have unknowingly become part of the corporation. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Since the corporation known as the United States is just a document located in D.C., a corporation, millions of citizens are now part of the corporation's jurisdiction. Look up the term citizen in legal definition and you will see this. It's the subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, not the United States of America. They are two different things. So let's show you how the voting system really works. Let's say the 150 plus million registered voters all voted for the same person. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it's Rand Paul. The total amounts of votes registered from all those votes would equal 3, because Washington, D.C. has only 3 delegates. So let's put it this way. Are there more than 3 people in the Senate or the House of Representatives? So they can easily outvote you. So even if 150 plus million people all voted for the same people, because you're all subject to the jurisdiction of the corporation known as the United States, which is located in D.C., and D.C. only has 3 delegates, well, there's only 3 votes out of whatever amount that voted. So it proves that your votes do not count. This is nothing more than a tally to see what people prefer. So again, these videos I make are for people to learn that what's really going on. Otherwise, we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's the true definition of insanity. So I do this to help educate people, and I need your help. If you can't make a video or you're afraid to make a video, that's your choice, and I understand that. But remember, guys, fear is nothing more than a lower vibration. They want you keeping you in a lower vibration, so this way you become docile, afraid to change. So the more they can scare you, the more they can control you. Because if they keep you silent, they keep the information from getting out. So please, don't be scared. But if that's the case, or you're just unable to do videos, or you don't think you're good at them, you can share mine. I make it so you can remix them as long as you don't change it and you actually give the credit to the person and don't use it just to make money off of. You can use my video, use somebody else's, but get this information out. So I'm going to keep this video short. Thanks for watching, and let's keep the truth movement going. Peace, and have a great weekend.